Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dana. I was born and raised in Kentucky in the United States, and I make videos to help you learn English through American culture and everyday life. Today, we have another Reddit video. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Reddit is a website where you can have online discussions anonymously. Anonymously meaning you don't have to show your real name. This website is very popular in the US and people share their opinions and experiences on it. I made another video, actually, sharing comments from Reddit about what Americans think of non-native English. If you'd like, go check out that video too. But today, I found an interesting thread on Reddit about dating. Yeah, we're going to talk about dating today. Dating in the United States. So I'm curious, do you guys have any stereotypes or common ideas about how Americans date? Maybe from TV series or movies you've seen? Or maybe for those of you who live in the US or work with Americans, you might have experience dating Americans. Keep these thoughts in mind as we go through this Reddit thread, and definitely share your experiences in the comments. Okay? First, I'm going to read the original post. So this is the paragraph written by the person who started this discussion. Then, we will read a few comments and I'll explain some vocabulary and share my reaction and personal opinions. Now let's look at the original post. The title is, How do you guys date in the US? For this post and the comments, I have cut some information and fixed some mistakes to make it easier to understand. If you want to see the full thread and the original wording, please check the link in the description. So he says, Hi, 25 male, recently moved to the US for work. I'm from Italy. I'm dating this girl. After almost 3 months of dating, she told me she wanted to be exclusive. I didn't understand what she meant, and she said people in the US usually at some point go exclusive and don't see other people. Let me pause here to explain. So this man is dating a woman, and after 3 months, she told him she wants to be exclusive. This is a very important word for today's video. Exclusive means limited. Limited to only one person or one thing. In this case, exclusive means dating only one person. It can mean becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, or at least focusing only on each other romantically. She explained when people in the US go exclusive, they don't see other people. This is just another way to say they don't date other people. So see in this case actually means date. If you say, I'm seeing someone, that means I'm dating someone. Okay, so you might be feeling a little confused here. What does this mean? They're dating, but they aren't exclusive? Well, look at this next part. I'm going to continue reading. It turned out she was casually dating 2 other guys, and she said it's no big deal because that's how it works here in the US. And if I wanted to be exclusive, I should have said that. So, the woman was dating 2 other men at the same time as this original poster, and she said this is no big deal, which means it's not a problem. This is normal in the US. If he wanted to be her girlfriend, he should have said that clearly. That's what she said. Okay, I'm just explaining the post. Now the last part says, I'm confused, but maybe I just have to get used to it. Is this how it works here? So if I date a girl, I have to specify I want us to be exclusive? Is it weird if I want to be exclusive after the first date? So he asked if he has to specify if he wants to be exclusive. That means if he has to directly say, "Will you be my girlfriend?" or not, and he wants to know if it's okay to ask this on the first date. All right, that was the original post. So we're going to talk about this idea of being exclusive. Is it okay to date a few people at the same time? Or should you only date one person? What's normal in the US? Of course, the US is a huge country. Even within the US, there are many different cultures and types of people. We are looking at general trends here, okay? So let's look at the comments. The first comment is, yeah, there's a huge hookup/casual dating culture here. So this person agrees that casual dating multiple people, is normal. And hookup is slang that usually means casual physical intimacy, not a serious relationship. They're saying many people have just a physical relationship with someone, but they don't date them seriously. This next comment shares a similar opinion. Here it is assumed you are dating multiple people at once unless you say otherwise. The default is that you are keeping your options open and dating around unless an agreement is made up front. So, like the first commenter, this person is saying that yes, dating multiple people in the US is normal. In fact, people assume you are doing that. So keeping your options open means you don't commit to one person. You don't say, "I'm only going to date this person." You don't do that. Instead, you date around. This means you go on dates with many people. This commenter says, Americans date around unless you agree to be exclusive up front. Up front means first, before anything else. To summarize, this comment is saying, if you don't first say, "I only want to date you," Americans will think you are dating multiple people. This is like our default way of thinking. Now, let me share my thoughts on these two comments. Actually, I think these comments are pretty accurate. For example, if I went out on a date or a few dates with a guy, and then I found out he was also going on dates with other girls, I wouldn't be that surprised. I might feel a little disappointed, but I wouldn't be mad at him or hurt. Well, it depends on the timing. It depends on how long we've been dating. If we've been dating for over a month or so and he's still dating other girls, that could be a problem. But if it's been less than a month and he's dating around, I wouldn't be too surprised. Yeah, that's how I feel. Anyway, the next comment is, it's been that way for a while. Dating is all about getting to know people and finding if you're compatible. It's tough to find out if you're compatible in just 2 dates or so. So it's good to date others as well to find the person who's right for you. This person still has the same opinion, but they give a reason. They explain why they think dating multiple people is a good idea. That reason is to see if you're compatible with someone or not. Compatible means if you go well together, if your personalities, your hobbies, your values match well or not. To see who is the best partner for you, this commenter says you should date multiple people. You know, my parents have said something very similar to me. I remember they told me that when they were young, people dated around, and this is good because you can see what kind of people are out there. So from my experience, there are many Americans who believe this, who think this way. Do you guys agree with this? What do you think is the best way to see if you're compatible with someone? I mean, that's a tough question, isn't it? Well, for now, let's go on to the next comment. Okay, this commenter said, "This is becoming more normalized, but it's still kind of somewhere in between. Because of the increase in online dating, though, so many people see dating as a free-for-all." Okay, first this comment says, dating multiple people has become normalized. This just means it's becoming more acceptable. So still the same opinion, but this comment mentions online dating. They say online dating makes people see dating as a free-for-all. Free-for-all means you can do whatever you want. It's very chaotic. There are no clear rules. And I can definitely understand this point. On dating apps, you have access to a lot of people. You can talk or message people anytime, right? So this does make it easier to date or at least talk to multiple people at the same time. What do you guys think about online dating or dating apps? Do you think this makes dating easier or harder? Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts or experiences. Anyway, we have 2 comments left. These next comments actually support dating only one person. Let's see what they say. The next comment is, "That's how it works, but lots of people also don't like to operate that way. Since lots of people, me included, dislike dating more than one person at a time, I often have the exclusivity talk fairly early in a relationship." So this person is saying that yes, while many people do date around, not everyone operates that way. Operate means act or behave in this case. This person actually prefers to only date one person at a time. So they said they talk about being exclusive early in a relationship. Okay, so we can see here that not every American wants to date multiple people at once. Now, the last comment. Yes, unfortunately, you do have to talk about being exclusive with someone. But you can do that after the first date if you're comfortable. There are still plenty of people who only date one person at a time. I've been exclusive with a guy since our first date, about 2 months ago. This person makes 2 points. First, if you want to be exclusive with someone, you can say that on the first date. So to answer the original poster's question, it's not weird to ask this on the first date. This is just my opinion, but I think different people can have very different reactions to that. Some Americans might feel like it's too fast if you ask them to be exclusive right away. But this is actually a great way to see if you're compatible. If you ask the other person to be exclusive and they say yes, you probably have a similar mindset, right? If they say no, then that's okay, because that means you want different things. That's how I feel about this. And the commenter's second point is that they also prefer to date only one person at a time. Actually, it looks like they became exclusive with their current boyfriend after the first date. So based on these last 2 comments, we can see that not all Americans date around. Some people do prefer to focus on one person. That was the last comment. Now to summarize, in the US, if you don't tell someone you want to be exclusive, that person might continue dating other people or think that you are dating other people. Not everyone, but many people. I mean, dating styles and preferences really depend on the person. So if you're dating in the US or an American, just communicate. It's best to tell someone up front what you're looking for. It's quite normal here to tell someone if you're looking for a serious relationship or a casual relationship. And lastly, just to share my personal opinion about dating around and when to become exclusive with someone. Personally, I don't actually like dating multiple people at once, or at least not for a long time. When I become interested in someone, I don't really want to talk to anyone else. So I would rather be exclusive after a couple of dates. That's just me, though. But what about you guys? In your country, when and how do people officially become a couple? I'm very excited to read your comments on this video. Okay, so that is the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye!